We have so many stories in our lives, but our stories are not always heard. On the Hear My True Story podcast, we tell our own true stories.
Before the white car parked, our head teacher had scattered. Looking at him, I could only see his tie that was flying backwards, waving at us, and he disappeared in thin air.
I want to share my life story. I want to share my voice with the people because I know that just a small joke I can tell through this podcast, it will make someone smile.
When you ask me what I fear most in life, I would definitely respond to you and say it's fear itself.
We are fighting for togetherness. We are fighting for equal rights. We are fighting to end injustice.
You don't have to be a storyteller or writer because, guess what? Life writes the best stories.
Hear my true story.
This is your favorite time of the week with your number one podcast.
Hear my true story.
I welcome you again to our podcast. It is me, your host, Otako. Anyway, today is quite a wonderful day. I'm sharing with you guys my personal story this time. It's so interesting that when you come to a country, they tell you one thing, that you need to get integrated. I mean, you need to be integrated. You need to accept the cultures of that country. But anyway, in 2019, I moved to Germany and I started living in Germany. And I came when the year was like starting 2019. Of course, when you come to a country, you find so many things like new cultures, new foods, new things that really you need to adopt to. And of course, when I came to Germany, I got one thing to learn, that and to get to know their food. And the first food I learned was bread. Yes, I'm telling you, bread. I got to learn about bread as one of the food in German. If you went and visited someone and they don't ask you, please, do you like to have some bread? Anyway, for me, because when I was growing up in Uganda, bread was something special. I mean, we could eat bread for breakfast. I didn't think of eating bread for lunch or for dinner. But here, I find bread for lunch. The first time I was given dinner, and then I was hosted by a friend here in Germany when I just came right away. And they said, yeah, we are going to have dinner. And then they brought bread. And they put bread on the table. And I looked around with my eyes widely open. Yes, that's the truth. My eyes widely open, and I could not understand whether this is bread, dinner, or are we having the bread as a starter? This is so funny, I'm telling you. Yeah, it's not a lie. Yeah, I'm not lying about this. Because imagine you came from a country where people eat food for dinner and now you have bread. Yeah, that's the one thing that I never understood. But anyway, I got to learn that bread is food here. And it's not a shock. If you come from Africa, you get to know that we have a lot of food. However much the news always say in Africa there's no food. Come on, I come from East Africa, we have food. We eat matoke, we eat bananas, we eat sweet potatoes. So for me, that was a shock to come here and I find us bread, food. And even when I was learning, you see, because I come from Uganda, we have history. So we learn European history. And personally, I was a teacher of European history. I had to teach about so many things about Europe. Yeah, the Main River here in Europe. Then I taught about the French Revolution. Then I taught about the Second World War. Then I taught about the First World War. What were the causes? But the only thing that really shocked me was teaching about the French Revolution. And one of the causes was people wanted the bread. And then Mario Antoinette, whatever, if that's the name, I don't know if I've mentioned it well. And she told them, okay, if you cannot buy bread, then buy cake. And then people started a revolution because of that. I did not understand that until when I came to Europe and I got to know, oh my God, people in Europe, in Germany, in France, bread is food. You don't have to laugh at such a thing. This is a very, very serious matter. Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah, I'm telling you. So the moment I got to learn that, nowadays, I buy myself bread. I make sure that in my apartment, there is bread. There is a time when I went to shop in a supermarket and I found that all the bread was over. That was when Corona came in. People in Germany bought bread and they finished bread from all bakeries. And I was shocked that I could not imagine that I'm going to sleep without food. Then I had myself to really think of maybe buying more bread. I stocked bread. That's how. Yes. Yeah. I'm telling you, that is how I got the cultural shock of bread in German. If you don't believe that, my friend, visit my home country, Uganda, and you'll get to know that we have plenty of food. We don't eat bread as dinner. Nine. No. Yes. But anyway. But one thing that I'm not going to allow to be integrated in is one. I can tell this to you. You see, since I came in when it was winter, it was so cold. So I could not really live here in Germany when it's so cold. I had to buy so many jackets. I could put on 2 jackets, 2 big jackets. I'm not lying about this. Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm not lying about it. 2 big jackets. I had to put on 2 big jackets that were so big, and someone could see me walking on the street and they could say, oh my God, this guy is just coming from Africa, I'm sure. Because I had 2 big jackets on and I was like, someone going to the moon. Yes. When someone is going to the moon, they put on so many things that they can feel really safe. I could walk in German on the street with 2 big jackets, real big. Have you ever imagined to see someone walking on the street and think, oh, maybe this is a robot? I mean, that was my situation. But because it was always cold, I come from Uganda. We have a very wonderful weather, 20 degrees, that is really hot. 15 degrees, that's real cold. Everyone puts on a jacket. But 20, 25, it's okay. The weather is hot and the hair is also not dry. I mean, it's a wonderful weather. That's why they call Uganda Pearl of Africa. And if you don't know that it is a Pearl of Africa, you can also Google that. Yes, yeah, I'm not saying that you should not Google, but Google and put in what is the Pearl of Africa. They will tell you that it is Uganda. It is the Pearl of Africa. Yes, and that's how I grew up with the wonderful weather. So when I come to Germany, the weather is so cold in winter. And then one day I was inside the house and I looked at the sun outside and I was so excited. After 1 month of not seeing sun, I moved outside so happy, excited. I told my wife, you know what? There's a sun outside. Look, there's a sun outside. And then she was like, yeah, I see that sun. It's outside. But I ran outside to see the sun. When I reached outside, oh my God, it was cold. I could not believe that there is a sun and it's really cold. I went back inside, very cold, shivering, and I told my wife, you know what? It is so cold. I needed the sun, but it is so cold. And then that same day I remembered, you see, with my organization in Uganda, we could host young students from Europe. But one thing I could realize about them, whenever they came, they always wanted to work from outside in the sun. And all the time they could say, please, can we put the computers and the table in the garden and we work? And I told them, the sun is so hot. I told them the sun is really hot. They were like, no, Otako, let us work from the garden. I did not understand why they wanted the sun. But now I know, since I live here in Europe, I live in Germany, I know the sun is so expensive. You know, people in Europe can buy so many things. They can buy everything they want if they have the money. Man, but there's no guy that can buy the sun. The sun in Europe, the sun in Germany here where I am, it is pretty expensive. You can have it when it's summer. And when it comes in summer, it is so hot. So there's this summer, actually, when the sun started coming out, and I could see people, it's just 15 degrees with the sun. People ran crazy. People in Germany, when they see the sun, they run crazy. They want to attack everything. I'm telling you, don't laugh about this. This is a true story. So one day, I walk on the street, you see, because the sun is there, I see men, women, walking bare chest, putting on shorts. And I looked at them, I said, no, however much I like the sun, I cannot walk naked in the city. Who am I to walk naked in a city? And you go inside the bus and you walk here, and you are inside the bus, other people are there, and you are naked, bare chest. I look at a man with a big stomach in the bus, bare chest in a small short. I said, Otako, never allow such a culture for you to be integrated in this way. I said I don't want to be integrated in this way. So I did not allow to walk bare chest because of the sun in Germany here. And then we went for shopping with my wife. So she told me now we are shopping for summer. I was like, yeah, I see it is summer, so I have to shop something for summer. And then she was buying shorts. And she was like, yeah, you need to buy some shorts. It's really hot. I told her, you don't know. I don't put on shorts. When I came to Germany, I never used to put on shorts. Because my culture, shorts were for children. And then when you grow up, they tell you, now you have grown up, start putting on trousers. So I used to put on trousers. So when I came here, I said, Otako, however much you want to be integrated in this system, don't allow to put on trousers. So I did not put on trousers. I did not put on a short. I decided to put on trousers. The entire summer I was putting on trousers, I'm telling you. So this happens, yeah. The sun was 40 degrees. I had never lived in a country where the sun is 40 degrees. It was hot. I started sweating inside, in the armpits. I sweated between my legs. I sweated the whole body. The next thing I did the next day, I went to the supermarket. I bought myself shorts. I bought so many shorts. I bought so many shorts that I could not wear in one summer. I bought like 10 shorts one day. And I put on a short every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. That is how I got integrated in the system of German. I mean, that culture was hard for me. And this thing, I don't know you guys, there's what they call FKK here in German. I mean, if you don't know FKK, it's a culture in German. People walk naked, literally naked the way they are born. They go somewhere on the beach or somewhere, I don't know. But they are just naked. Like the way you are born. Huh? You know. I know. Don't laugh. No, please don't laugh about this. Yeah. someone walking naked the way he was born. So this day comes, I get encountered with FKK. And then people were naked the way they were born. Can you imagine being naked? You see, being naked the way you are born. Your things are outside. All your parts are swinging outside. So I walk and I get encounter with the family, FKK. Old man, naked. Old woman, naked. Their daughter, naked. Their grandchildren, naked. And they were walking. That's what I'm telling you. I looked. So, because of being shocked, I had my shades on. So I tried to put on the shades so that maybe I cannot see. But the shades made me to see even more clear. Then I had to look left. I saw other FKK people. I looked right. I saw other FKK people. I looked at the back. I saw other FKK people. That was my culture shock here in German. I mean, yes, I'm not lying about this. If someone just comes to German and you encounter FKK people, make sure that you can move blind. I mean, if you can. I said I will not at any point be integrated in FKK. Me, when you tell me to be integrated, some cultures I will get integrated. Some things I will live like FKK.
We not only have voices for a podcast, but also faces for YouTube. Don't miss your next episode. Hear my true story.
Thank you for listening to our podcast, Music by Edwin Matovo, hosted and produced by Otako. Subscribe to our podcast for more stories and visit us on our website, hearmytruestory.com, for more stories. All the links are listed in the show notes of this podcast.